Welcome to our True Change program today. This program is put together to enlighten the public on the activities and achievements of the federal government. Our focus in this episode is on the tax system in Nigeria. We had a chat with the Executive Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Mr. Babatunde Fowler, on what the federal government is doing to make paying of taxes more flexible and the laudable achievement made so far. Babatunde Fowler is a renowned international finance expert and tax administrator who has done so well in tax generation right from when he was first appointed as the Executive Chairman, Lagos State Internal Revenue Services. No wonder this administration didn't let him go. In August 2015, he was appointed by President Muhammadu Buhari to oversee the Federal Inland Revenue Service and drive the change agenda of the administration in the tax sector. He has so far changed the story. A total of 5.37 trillion naira was collected in 2018 alone, which was an increase of 1.292 trillion over collection in 2017, making it the highest in the history of the Federal Inland Revenue Service in Nigeria. Let's hear him.
Well, I think the simple steps, just like anything else, has to do with communication. We first of all looked at the vision and the mandate of FIRS. We met with stakeholders, both politicians, business, and also tax agencies. We signed an MOU with the various state internal revenue services under the Joint Tax Board. We were able to exchange tax data information, whereby if a taxpayer was caught under a state and was not in the federal tax database, we were able to add it, and we did the same for the states. We gave them names that may not be in the tax database, and then we tried to simplify the process of tax administration. We deployed technology, and we now have what we call the 6 e-solutions, which means that from the time you incorporate a company with CAC, we're linked with CAC, you automatically get a tax ID. From the tax ID, you can pay your stamp duties online. In fact, you can make any tax payment online, 24/7, anywhere in the world. And at the same time, once a payment is made, you can download your receipts. So we made it very transparent, with a lot of accountability, and at the same time providing convenience. Well, it's been very challenging, but I must say that I did have support from the Ministry of Finance, from the Presidency, from the Senate and the House of Representatives. Once they understood the vision and understood the methodology that we were about to adopt, they all lent their support. And of course, to the taxpayers, especially organizations like MAN and NECA, they were very helpful. They did help us carry the message of full compliance. And we did have some good working relationships with the big 4 accounting firms. Well, certainly the more blessed among us try to evade tax. We deal more with corporate organizations, so the owners of the corporate organizations that were trying to evade tax, we did have information in terms of their banking turnover. So after the VAT period was over, where they could have come voluntarily on their own and paid the outstanding taxes, we did use information available to us. And I believe I had a stakeholders meeting in which I let people know that over 6,000 of such accounts with annual turnover of 1 billion and above for 3 years were not in the tax net, and we're dealing with those ones. We've taken the threshold down to 100 million annually, and we have about 50,000 of those accounts that we're currently dealing with. And on that, the first 124 have made payments, and that amounted to about 1 billion. So I believe that as we continue to engage I won't call them high net worth, but the medium-sized businesses that are not in the tax net, and bring them all on board, it will be a sign and an encouragement for even the smaller ones to start obeying the tax laws.
London, New York or Lagos, business or holiday, home or office, you can now carry out your tax transactions from anywhere in the world. You can now file all your tax returns, pay online, get a receipt and even process your tax clearance certificate from anywhere in the world online and in real time. All you need to do is log on to www.firs.gov.ng and click on e-services and be introduced to the world of innovation, convenience and transparency from the FIRS. You can also pay stamp duty as you register a new company with the CAC or for other transactions that require stamp duty payment online. You can also file your withholding tax returns and determine the withholding tax deducted from you is in government coffers so that you can get your receipt within 45 days as long as the deduction has been remitted. Yes, all of this and more online at www.firs.gov.ng/e-services. FIRS, making tax administration as easy as ABC. Please note that all FIRS services are free of charge. This message is from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. It pays to pay your tax.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I haven't seen a case of double taxation. People use those words, multiplicity of taxes, double taxation. Double taxation only occurs when you pay the same tax type to two tiers of government. The taxes that we collect at the federal level are clearly different from those at the state and local government. A lot of people call user charges double taxation. I'll give you a little example. You want a private parking area in front of your office. Now, usually the local government is in charge of parking, but in some states, if you want that type of service, you pay to the state government. But the state government and local government are one and the same. And once you've paid to one over the other, then you don't have to pay to both of them. I'll give you a typical example of Lagos. Lagos has what you call the land use charge, which involves taxes that are to be paid to the local government and taxes to the state government. But to try and ease and make it more convenient, you pay one land use charge, and the state government gives the local government their own share of the amount. Well, you see, what the tax laws do say is that state governments have the right to introduce new taxes. Once those taxes are approved by the state houses of assembly and they become law, then they become valid. In the area of education, I'm not too sure that, at least to date, I can say certainly that no state has put up a new tax when it comes to education. Education is very important. Education should be affordable to all. But in the area of generation to fund education, I think a lot of state governments look towards the private sector to partner with the public schools and also to assist in sharing their expertise and also their facilities. But that's a hard question. What could I have done better? On a lighter note, maybe if I had more time to enforce the non-compliant taxpayers, would have been a bit ahead. But you see, under the first tax amnesty in 2016, during the tax amnesty, you can't enforce. During VADES, you have to give the taxpayers the opportunity to come forth. And during that period also, we could hardly enforce. So there was a delay of maybe a year and 3 months that we couldn't carry out enforcement activities. So I believe that if we could have enforced sooner, then we would have got a bit more people into the tax nets and maybe a bit more revenue. For the next 4 years, the taxpayers will see increased development, they'll see increased infrastructure, they'll start to see the benefits of the payment of tax. And I believe that we'll all experience a higher standard of living. My name is Babatunde Fowler, Executive Chairman, Federal Inland Revenue Service.
That's how far we can go for now. Please join us on our next episode of True Change on TV. Thank you for watching.